Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Welcome to the 25th swearing-in ceremony of Americorps Cape Cod. It is astounding to believe that we've been doing this for 25 years. Please take some time to check out our table. It has some memorabilia, all of our report to the communities, and just some highlights. We did try to bring out our collages, but as you can tell, it's a little breezy, and it didn't work out. So we're gonna have some of them available for display when we have our luncheon a little bit later. When I think about swearing in, I think of it as a day full of hope and anticipation as we watch these 19 Americorps Cape Cod members commit their term of service in front of our community. For our community supporters and service partners, this is a jumping off point. This is a jumping off for your important projects that will fulfill your agency's priorities, ranging from caring for fragile resources to educating others about our aquifer, and then making our community safer by preparing for disasters. Our members are ready to support your initiatives, and they're really excited to learn from you. For our staff, this is the start of a very busy year, and thankfully, we've been able to continue to analyze and fine-tune our systems to help make this program more effective for the next 25 years. The 6 staff that we have before you work hard every day to improve our members' experience and extend the program's impact. And I'd like to take some time to just introduce them. So first we have Phoebe Plank. She's our program coordinator for the Upper Cape. We have Michael Andranovich, our Outer Cape program coordinator. We have Leo Lainez, our Pecasset House program supervisor. Caroline Lawrence, our Barnstable House program supervisor. Rob Zielinski, our Chatham House program supervisor. And Henry Torpy, our Wellfleet House program supervisor. I can truly say that all the different things that happen on a daily basis with this program would not happen without these 6 people. They make things move, they make things shake, and I'm so very glad that they're here. And then finally, turning to our members. I'm very glad you're here. Today, you're going to meet so many people who are so excited for your arrival. You're coming from near and far, which can feel really intimidating. But please know that the people that are here today are welcoming you with open arms. They are ready to mentor you through your journey here on Cape Cod. So let's take a minute to introduce our members. And if the wind would stop, it would be really great. So first, we're going to start with our Pecasset House members. We have Lisa Barstein from Princeton, New Jersey. Yep. Bridget Gill from Melrose, Mass. Luke Hudson from Cazenovia, New York. Sarah Lawson from Charlotte, North Carolina. And Sam O'Neill from Attleboro, Mass. For our Barnstable House members, we have Stephen Rice from Woburn, Mass. Grace Vashon from Somersworth, New Hampshire. And Hannah Vandeveer from Bourne, Texas, who unfortunately is under the weather. For our Chatham House members, we have Corey Doster from Sharpsburg, Georgia. Daniel Exedy from Woodbury, Connecticut. Sophie Gallagher from Sandwich, Mass. Sydney High from Melrose, Mass. And Margaret Sargent from Leominster, Mass. And for our Wellfleet House members, we have Sarah Abbott from Matthews, Virginia. Jen Clifford from Kittery Point, Maine. Emily Guilot from Mystic, Connecticut. Savannah Gray from Baltimore, Maryland. Michelle Morrison from Thomaston, Connecticut. And Claire Williams from Portsmouth, Rhode Island. This is our Year 25 Corps. We are so fortunate to have several people here that want to share words of encouragement to our members today. First is County Commissioner Mark Forrest. Commissioner Forrest is a longtime resident of Yarmouth and sits on the Yarmouth Select Board. He's also on the board of the Cape Cod Conservation District. He has a long history of supporting conservation efforts, including the creation of Wacoit Bay National Estuarine Reserve and the Stellwagen Bank National Marine Sanctuary. Please join me in welcoming County Commissioner Mark Forrest.
Thank you, Kat. I'm also here with my fellow Commissioner Sheila Lyons, who I'm sure will be saying a few words later on. Before I came to the podium, I had a chance to speak to our new movers and shakers here on Cape Cod, and I shared with them a little bit of my experience being a VISTA volunteer and being sort of inspired to come out of yourself, to come out of your shell, and to give of yourself to something bigger, to something larger, and how that in and of itself can be a transformational experience. I want to thank the partners that are here on behalf of the county commissioners. I see a lot of folks with environmental organizations, shellfish groups, the seashore. We really appreciate and value your partnership. It's a very important relationship that we truly value. So thank you for your continued support and your continued engagement. I'd like to just sort of reflect on a couple of things for today. One is that nationally we are celebrating 30 years of the Americorps program. Yes, go ahead, and round of applause. And around the country, there are events similar to this, focused on the incredible amount of work and service that has been done here in the country under the Americorps program. Each year, we bring together 200,000 volunteers to essentially work in our communities and to provide service. And here in Barnstable County, this is 25 years for us, and it's a 25-year anniversary that we're also very, very proud of. I should note that the concept of community service is so important. President Biden just this month announced a new component of Americorps, and that is the American Climate Corps. And that's a reflection of the importance that we have in terms of addressing climate change and the importance of our Americorps volunteers in helping us meet that challenge going forward. Now, it's important to note that when President Clinton first proposed legislation in 1993, you folks weren't even born yet, but I was working in the Congress at the time, and President Clinton once said that in the run-up to the program and building support for the program, he said that the concept of community, the concept of service, is as old as our history as a nation. The president said that it began at the moment that America was literally invented. Thomas Jefferson wrote in the Declaration of Independence, quote, "With a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortune, and our sacred honor." President Clinton also cited the incredible work of President Roosevelt in his call to service for the Civilian Conservation Corps. President Kennedy, in his call to service, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Presidents have said that national service is so fundamental to who we are because it is rooted in our concept of community, the simple idea that none of us on our own will have much to cherish about our own lives if we were just out here all by ourselves. But if we work together, if we embrace the concept that a society is really an organism in which the whole can be greater than the sum of its parts, and every one of us, no matter how many privileges with which we are born can still be enriched by the contributions of the least of us, and that we will never fulfill our individual capacities as Americans until we be all that we can be, and that we take full advantage of whatever gifts God has given us. And if that is so, if that is true, my fellow Americans, as President Clinton said, and if you believe it, then therefore each of us has an obligation to serve. For it is perfectly clear that all of us cannot be what we ought to be until those of us who can help others, and that is all of us, are doing something to help others live up to their potential. So as a former VISTA volunteer myself, inspired by President Kennedy's call, this is what today's all about. This is what we celebrate today. So when our Americorps volunteers here on Cape Cod take this oath, they are holding a tradition that is long as our country, and that is the service to one another, to make our country and our communities better. It's an important investment that we consistently make on a bipartisan basis in Washington. It's an investment that we're very proud to sustain here in Barnstable County. It's an investment that pays dividends over and over again. So on behalf of our entire Board of Commissioners, I want to offer this special thanks to all of you, all of our partners, and of course, all of you who will serve in this coming year. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Commissioner Forrest. Our next speaker is Mary LeClaire, and Mary has been an instrumental part when this program began in 1999. Mary has made a deep and persistent impact on the Cape Cod community. She is a former county commissioner. She's a recipient of the Philanthropy Volunteer of the Year Award and a long-standing community organizer who has helped make real change here in Barnstable County. I'm honored to welcome Mary up to the podium.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. That wind is consistent. I believe in Americorps with all my heart. I love Americorps. Since the first time that I ever heard about it, it was something I wanted to do. And you know, it wasn't easy starting it. But first of all, I want to say good morning, and first, all of you, thank you. I was unlucky enough to have this opportunity 25 years ago, and I could not be happier than to be here today. It brings me back to that time 25 years ago when we were trying to convince some very strong opponents to the beginning of our journey with Americorps. It was not an easy sell. Many members of the Assembly and even all the commissioners were not convinced of its success. They had their reasons, from liability to the fact that they thought that you would be too bored in the winter and want to go home. I have to say, through the years, many have admitted they were wrong and even like to take credit for you being here. Our first group was met with a little apprehension, but their enthusiasm, their ambition, their ideas took over immediately, and we were on our way. And we also had fun. We had spaghetti dinners, we had Halloween parties, we had parties for every holiday so that nobody would ever feel lonesome. Some lived in Bourne and some lived in Wellfleet, and we got together often. And they began to work immediately in the county extension, town departments, Red Cross, housing assistance. I remember the first big fix, cleaning up houses and getting them ready to winter for older people that couldn't do it themselves. Now, I just want to talk to you. You are proof that it does work. You are the young people that Martin Luther King and President John F. Kennedy had a dream about and would say to you, we are only stewards. We're only here to make this world a better place to leave for our children and for your children. I could talk Americorps all day, and I have many stories. So I'll just give you a little preview of what you have ahead of you. First of all, you're going to meet many of your sisters and brothers who came before you, who found sand in their shoes and found a home, married, and are raising their families here on Cape Cod, and they never left. You'll meet them in the county, you'll meet them in town departments, you'll meet them in the schools, in environmental facilities, the Cape Cod seashore, housing assistance, working on the housing crisis on Cape Cod today. You'll find them in daily living, in grocery stores and post offices, sports events. You know, if I could go to Congress this morning in all its turmoil, I would read our Americorps pledge. It would make a difference. I know that because I have lived, loved, and worked with Americorps every year of that 25 years, and I've heard that pledge every time. I see it on my wall. I can't wait to hear it said today. Every year, your sisters and brothers have made Cape Cod a better place, and I'm sure at the end of this year, you're going to say the same thing. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mary. And now, in thinking about celebrating 25 years, I'd be remiss in not trying to tie in an alumni component, because there are so many of us here in the audience and around the Cape and beyond. And so I'm fortunate enough to have Jessica Rittenhauer, the Executive Director of the 300 Committee, be able to speak to you today about her member experience and what you might have to look forward to. Jessica has been an incredible mentor to many of our members. She sits on our advisory board and provides a great deal of guidance in helping us grow. And I'm really excited to introduce her here today. So please welcome Jessica Rittenhauer.
Thank you, Kat. I'm so delighted to speak today on behalf of the alumni, and I'm seeing several alumni out. If you could raise your hands and just give a wave so the members can see you. Great to be here with all of you. As Kat said, I'm Jessica Rittenhauer. My Americorps service was in year 4. I was in the Wellfleet House, so it was 21 years ago at this time. September of 2002, that marked my arrival and swearing in as an Americorps member on these steps, along with 23 other members from the Bourne and Wellfleet houses combined. I am grateful for Kat for all of the work she's doing in leading the program today, and to Mark and Sheila and the commissioners. They've been supporting this program. The commissioners have been supporting this program for 25 years. And I think there's tremendous energy that's coming from the current Board of Commissioners for this program. And Mary LeClaire, I remember Mary from my year of Americorps for sure. Just a steady force of positive energy, not just for Americorps, but for so many different causes on the Cape. So thank you. For me, the Americorps program was my second year of Americorps service. I served 1 year in Iowa in 2001 for a county conservation department. And then I traveled to the Cape, for Americorps because I was interested in gaining more experience with land and water conservation work. Just by way of background, I decided to pursue Americorps when I was in my mid-20s. I was actually switching gears pretty early on in my career. I'd been in the graphic design industry and was finding that I wanted and needed more out of my work. I left a salaried position in a successful graphic design company because at times I felt like the harder I worked, the more successful the company and its owners became. And I needed more. I needed a different kind of motivation to sustain the kind of energy required to be in the workforce. So I found that Americorps service provided a tremendous opportunity. It was hands-on learning, it was public service in an area that really mattered to me, which is environmental protection. here, the harder we work, or the harder we serve, as it's called, because Americorps is a volunteer role, the more we can positively impact communities and people. Sometimes the impact is tangible, like improving a herring run or a conservation area. Sometimes it's heartfelt, like seeing the eyes of a child light up when you're working with them in their schools through the puppet show or through the Wet Festival, which I think we're still doing. As I reflect on the program, I just want to share 3 words that come to mind, and just a few words on those. It's connection, service, and impact. On connection, I think there's tremendous value in the connection you can build on the Cape, to the landscape, the communities, to the people who live here, and to the other members that you're serving with. For service, it's certainly service to the land and to people and to our country, as Mark elaborated on with the original founding of Americorps. It's a great opportunity for the public service ethic and to really live and breathe that. For the impact, I think we're changed. We can be changed as people, as professionals, as team members, as friends. The land is certainly changed because it can be improved. I think people feel taken care of by Americorps through the disaster preparedness efforts. Kids are engaged through environmental education programs. 25 years of Americorps service on Cape Cod has and will continue to make a tremendous difference. I see it now through my work in Falmouth with the 300 Committee Land Trust, and from hearing from colleagues and friends that are working in different towns or for the National Seashore. The program is impactful and positive, and our quality of life here on Cape Cod is improved because of it. I will circle back for a moment to my Americorps experience and sort of explain how I'm here today. My individual placement when I was in Americorps in 2002 was with the Compact of Cape Cod Conservation Trust and with the Wellfleet Shellfish Department. Those connections are lasting. I'm still working in a different sense with some of the original people from the Compact. I'm directing the 300 Committee Land Trust, which is in Falmouth, and a lot of our land trust partners are here today too. But the professional connections, I am someone that was planning on staying for 11 months and then 21 years later, still here. You may find yourselves in that same position. Also in Wellfleet, the Shellfish Department. That was a placement for someone from Iowa. Learning about shellfishing was, incredibly interesting. But one of our family traditions every year, Wellfleet Oyster Festival. That is supporting the shellfishing industry and just, I think, a wonderful celebration of what makes the Cape the Cape. So that's happening the weekend after Columbus Day. As I said, the Americorps connections are long-lasting. To you as Americorps members, I hope you feel engaged with the community and with the people here through your year of service. I hope you feel rewarded and that you enjoy the connections that you build here with fellow members as new friends. And may this experience guide you and support you and change you as you navigate how this service will impact your future. Thanks for being here to serve, and we look forward to working with you. I think I'm handing it back over to Kat.
Thank you, Jess. So this swearing-in ceremony is a terrific opportunity for us to kick off our 25-year celebration, and there will be lots more to come. The staff and the advisory board and a number of volunteers are working through different events that will highlight how important this program is to the community. So please stay tuned for more information about upcoming events in 2024. So these members standing before you are in the same spot where over 575 alumni have stood before. They're ready to get things done. This day reminds me of Maya Angelou's words, "If you're going to live, leave a legacy, make a mark on the world that you cannot erase." And that's what they're here to do, and that is what many of the Americorps Cape Cod alumni have done as well. So before we get ready for you to read your pledge, I am going to call up our Americorps Cape Cod alumni in the audience to share this moment with you in reading the pledge to the community. So I'm looking for Americorps Cape Cod alumni from years 1 through 5. If you could come up and stand with the members, that would be amazing. Alumni from years 6 through 10, if you're able, can you come on up? Any alumni from years 11 through 15? How about alumni from 16 through 24? Let's just go with that. And we're very fortunate to have Mike McGuire here, the director of the Cape Cod Cooperative Extension. Some of you may not know, but Americorps Cape Cod has been restructured under the Cape Cod Cooperative Extension. It could not think of a better place for us to be, considering how connected and deeply involved Mike McGuire has been with the program for so many years. And as year 1 alumni, he is going to lead the members in the pledge today. So, Mike.
I've done a couple of these, so I'm going to keep this real simple. I'm going to say the first line, then you repeat after me.
Sounds good, Mike.
I will get things done for America.
I will get things done for America.
To make our people safer, smarter, and healthier.
To make our people safer, smarter, and healthier.
I will bring Americans together.
I will bring Americans together.
To strengthen our communities.
To strengthen our communities.
Faced with apathy,
Faced with apathy,
I will take action.
I will take action.
Faced with conflict,
Faced with conflict,
I will seek common ground.
I will seek common ground.
Faced with adversity,
Faced with adversity,
I will persevere.
I will persevere.
I will carry this commitment
I will carry this commitment
with me this year and beyond.
with me this year and beyond.
I am an Americorps member,
I am an Americorps member,
and I will get things done.
and I will get things done.
Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Thank you to all the supporters, the county commissioners, all of our service partners, and everybody that's gone above and beyond to help make this program successful. We are going to continue our celebration today by having a luncheon up in the Harborview Room with some speed networking afterwards, and then we're going to be transitioning on to our service partner orientation for our individual placement partners. So please feel free to come and talk to our members and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks very much for coming.